Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a look at MIDILODY by Royale Fougard. It's a generative sequencer that's made to have fun with. So let's go. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jade and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Welcome to the show. It is, what day is it here? I don't even know. Is it Wednesday? Maybe Tuesday for the rest of you, I expect. But yes, here we are on Tuesday and waking up to an amazing weather forecast of hunker down in your home. You know things are bad when your own real estate agent reaches out to you and says, here's some contact numbers for emergency services. There's some storms coming. Who knows what's going to happen today? We're on a warning. All right. Fantastic app today to look at. I've been wanting to do this show. As soon as I got this app, I got right into it and just love it. I've been making loads of stuff with it, so very exciting. It is MIDILODY, and we're going to get to it very soon. Let's say hello to you all, and then we'll get into it. Thomas Christ. Oops, there he is. Thomas Christ in the house. G'day, Thomas. Costa, location not specified. Perfect. Shelley, hello to you. Royale Fougard, hello to you as well. Welcome. Who else? Leela, thanks for the dumping everyone over from your show. Thomas Christ, if you didn't know, folks, Leela does a show. She talks about apps as well, normally before me, 3 days a week. So developers, if you're watching, you should send your codes to her. Thomas Christ, thanks for banging the links. He's putting all the places to go to help support this channel. If you want to do so, you can become a Patreon. You can become a member for $1, or you can send SuperChats or all that kind of stuff there. All the business ends out of the way. Hey, it's Jamie Lynn. What's going on, Jamie Lynn? Good to see you. I think I've got most people who are typing in the chat. So if you're lurking, hello. If you're watching on a replay, hit the subscribe, do this stuff. You know you'll be better for it. And there is the link for MIDILODY right there in the chat and in the description and all that jazz. I was going to say something and I just forgot, but it'll come back to me at some point. All right, so let's jump in. I just got to open up App Raven because that's the one thing I didn't do. There we go. Boom. So how much is this app? This app comes in price-wise at $4.99. So it's a cheap one. Yeah. I feel like $5. It's a cheap one, everybody, because apps are getting more expensive. They just are. Everything's getting more expensive and craziness afoot. So here it is. This is where you'll get it on the App Store for $4.99. We're going to get straight in and play something I made with it, and then we'll break it all down for you. So I've got this little project over here in AUm. I've gone in and set up all my settings. We're all good to go. Everything's ready. All I need to do to kick this thing off is to hit record, and we're ready. You can see here it says searching. It's waiting. It's searching for sounds. I'll shut up. Let this thing go now. This is a generative thing, so you just let it go and let it play. So we'll let it do its thing. Let's oge. All right, so I didn't lift a finger to do anything there except set this up. So let's get into it. I'm going to create a brand new patch here. And we're going to run through a few different places you can use this, a few different scenarios, how to record MIDI with it, and then edit your MIDI if you want to do that, how to sample this and put it into a sampler, like with the app we're looking at tomorrow, which is Circa Looper. So this does not generate any sounds. This is a MIDI generator. That's saying it generates MIDI notes. You need to connect it to something that generates MIDI sound. Yeah, so like a piano or anything like that. So back over here at AUM, when you're going to add this to anything like AUM or for Logic Pro, you would add this as a MIDI. Yes, because it's a MIDI generator. It makes no notes. So if we come up here and look for it, there it is, MIDILODY, you would add it in here and it needs to go somewhere. So we're going to just, for an example, I like using pianos. They're nice and clear. You can hear what's going on. Of course, I'm going to throw on Octaves because it's amazing. There we go. So this needs to send notes out to the piano right here. So I'm going to send an output. And this will go to Piano Tech. If you want to see this in the grid form, you can see exactly what is happening here. MIDILODY is going into Piano Tech. You can connect, if you didn't know this with AUM, you can connect instruments this way. Here's MIDILODY, move down to Piano Tech, click it, bang, you're connected. Easy peasy. So now any notes that are generated from MIDILODY will now go into that piano. Let's have a look at this interface because it is very clean and stark and pretty, and it will evolve. I do expect our developer who's here in the chat with us has said that this is an evolving thing and community feedback. So send your ideas into the developer. So because it is worthwhile to see this thing grow. Absolutely ideas. And I've got some, trust me, I've got some because this can be even better and better. Now you'll notice when you first load this in, we've got this dark kind of colored screen here, and up in the top corner, it looks like a record button with a stop, yeah? So that's actually ready. When you first load it in, the first thing that happens is it's ready to go. So I can just hit play from here, and without touching anything, and we'll now see it change color. And you can see in here it says searching recording. Tap me to clear the sequence. So what this is doing is it's searching for notes within the scale that has been set, within the velocities that have been set, and the which octaves have been set within the scales, yeah? And it's just going to go and do its thing. Off it goes. You don't even have to do anything, and it's making stuff. It's just using that piano. And while we're doing that, I'll come back over here for a second so I can bounce. So the engine of this uses the hexadecimal core at the heart of I'm just going to call it MIDILODY lies a dynamic 8x8 hexadecimal matrix that continues to generate random MIDI messages. These messages are interpreted and filtered in real time to ensure that only musical relevant notes based on your currently selected scale are retained. So you can see here's our hexadecimal. It's too early, man. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning. And you can see how this works. So an important thing, I want to talk about this now while this is just generating in the back. This is only creating note on, right? So for example, if you're trying to save MIDI for this, it's only going to hit the note on, and it relies on the actual synthesizer or whatever you're putting it into to have a note off, or an ADSR, an envelope, yeah, you see, an attack, decay, sustain, and release. Because if it doesn't, you'll see this later, when the MIDI notes are recorded, they're super long notes. But there's an option to actually add off notes as well, which we will cover. So there's a basic understanding, if that helped. Doesn't really matter because it's all about the sound that's important. Now, while I've been away, you'll notice all these little lights have been filling up. That's what this does. It starts at the top, it searches for a note, finds a note and moves on to the next one, and then comes back around and searches for the next note to fill, the next note to fill, the next note, until it gets all the way around. And once it gets back around to the start, this now says sequence full, tap me to clear the sequence. Well, let's do that. So I tapped, and now the sequence is completely empty, but it's still playing and still waiting to hear new notes. So now you can see it's searching because it's connected to the door, it's playing, it's now searching for new notes. So at any time you can kill this, just tap on your screen, it'll clear everything. So that's how you clear what you've made, and it'll start again. As you can see, it's searching for notes to add to the sequence. It will keep going and fill those up. Once, we'll let it go for a little second, so it fills up some notes, and then I can show you how to stop this, and then you can go in and edit these notes. So I'll let it play for a little bit. There's nothing, look, I have sat here with this app for so long just making these beautiful pieces and just letting it play in the background for hours. It's really nice to go to sleep to, but so many other uses, which we'll get into. All right, so you can see here, we've got around to this point here. Going to add another one shortly. There we go. So now if I hit stop up here, the whole interface changes color. And now it says in here, pause playing, tap the red colored to remove, tap the red colored LED to remove its note, tap the edit to edit further. So now if I stop this, it stops. But now if I hit play again, we're going to start again. Remember, when record is off, you can just play this. When record is on, now if I tap record on again, it's going to continue where it left off, searching for more notes, unless I tap the center. But whenever you tap the center in record mode, it deletes everything. So be aware. And at this point, it's adding more notes to our, and I'm like, all right, I'm happy with that. Let's hit stop. And now this loop will continue to go on. We'll just continue to go on. And from here, you can do things like record this loop, come down here and say, I want to record this loop. G'day, Sean Chandler. I might want to say, yep, let's stop this. I'm going to hit record. And I might want to record this loop in. And now that has finished. Let's just hit stop. I can come over here into my files over here in AUM. We want to, what are we looking for? We're looking for recordings up here. And there's our new loop that we can import into anywhere else, yeah? So really easy to make loops with this. Nice. So that's one way of making a loop. So we'll come back over here to this baby. So as I said, you can come in and edit this when you are in not recording mode, right? So this is play mode when it's white. When you're in recording mode, you can't do stuff like this. So see all these notes along here. I might want to remove one of them. I might think this one doesn't work. So I can come in here and just tap, boink, and you'll see they're disappearing as I tap them. So let's tap this one. Boink. Oh, I tapped the wrong. Come back. Tap. And you'll see the last one in this chain disappeared. Also, if I tap on here, it takes me to this screen, which is our manage MIDI notes. And you can see all the notes that are in here, C5, E6, A sharp 5. So you've got all these notes that are in here. And you can remove these as well too. I might want to get rid of this E. Tap it. It's gone. So you can come in and actually edit this stuff, then come back, start recording again, continue on, hit play. And those notes that you removed will maybe get replaced with something else. So you can come in and edit and freeform. And it keeps going like so. Now, I'll let this keep going. I just want to show you something else. So as it gets all the way around to the edge, I'm just going to let it keep playing. So it grows all the way around to the, so you can see here, it's still searching. Whenever you've got all these, you've got notes spare, it's going to continue searching until you hit stop up here, right? So searching, searching, la la la, do your thing. Man, such nice sounds. And we'll get into multi-out soon. Okay, so we're about to fill up the block. And we've filled up the block. And it now says sequence full, tap me to clear. Right? But here's what's fun. We've got these other buttons, these little buttons over here. Firstly, this one down here is a help button. Advised to have it on. It adds these little things down the bottom and it adds information here in the center. It's just a little help thing to help you out. You can turn it off, turn it on, it's up to you. Once we reach the end and it's full, this is just going to keep looping this entire sequence over and over again. So this is our sequence. You can have up to 32 notes in a sequence. This is 16, currently set to. Over here, we have this infinity tab. And when I tap this, over here, it's very faint. I would like these to maybe be a little bit bigger because we're on the iPad. If I tap this, it's now going to change. This is now an infinite loop, which means it will change as it goes around. So notes will change. You will get this really genuine generative thing happening and things, you hear that? Boom. So we're getting variations in here. So you can just let this do its thing and it's going to continue to create variations. Or you might be happy and just hit stop and we're good. This is it. We're going. I think you can do it in infinite loop. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I can't remember actually too much. Yesterday I learned 4 other apps. My brain is mush. All right, let's get into the settings because there's a lot of stuff in here that's really cool. And now that I've hit stop, you'll notice it's paused. We want to come over here and let's hit tap the center and now we're ready. Searching, ready for recording. It's set to record. And all I got to do is hit play and start again, right? So we're back to the beginning. Down the bottom corner is the settings. Let's talk about these settings, right? So this is what we mentioned at the start of the show. Notes off, send note off events. Useful for some gear and plugins. So remember that. Now, when you've got like outside gear that you're playing into this, you're using an outside piece of equipment, note off can be very handy. And also some apps, like if it's say it's a string app, say you're using something like Pure Synth. These don't have, so depending on your ADSR, these notes are going to just continually play without any break, right? So, but we'll come back to this, so keep a check mark for this. Here's where you decide, g'day, Rob, see that, a Tremor Bear, see Robbie Stinger, or am I dreaming? Bear, well, I don't know what's going on, man. All right, why did I say that? So we've got notes. We can have up to 32 notes. So if we come back over here now, whenever you change anything, some of the major things in here and come back, everything's going to be reset, right? So if you had a sequence in here, just for example, I will do it soon. So you can have up to 32 notes, and you can see now we've got all heaps of dots around here, 32 of them in fact. We can bring it, the lowest we can bring this down to is 8. So 8 is your minimum. We'll leave it on 16 for now. So you can do some odd, even stuff. That's up to you to go for it. Velocity range. Now, this is the filtering. So when the app is searching for notes and it finds a note, this depends. So this velocity range, this is what you're asking it to choose a velocity from. So if you have a wide velocity like this, some notes are going to be soft at 25 velocity, some are going to be 101. You can control this. So if you want things to be more around even kind of thing, like 87 to 100, you're going to get more notes that are around the same velocity, or you can take a risk and bring it down a little bit more. That's up to you, completely up to you. Auto pause we'll come back to. This is the note range. So you can come in here, go from C3 to whatever you like. C3, we can go all the way down to C1 and all the way up to 127. So it's up to you. I'm just going to, let's go to C7. So we'll go from C1 to C7. And if we keep scrolling down, we have these bar length sets here. So these are like divisions. So whatever your BPM is set to, these are a division of that. So you've got a bar, 4 steps, note length. So you're going to get, I think it's this way it works. So you get more notes in with the lower one and you get less notes in with this. So this is kind of set in the middle at 8 steps. We'll come back to it. And down here we have some scale options. And I'd love more scales. I rarely ask for more scales, and I don't know, I'd love to choose a key. I'd love to choose a key. That would be fantastic. But you've got some scales in here. You've got pentatonic, Lydian, Locrian, Ionian. You've got a whole lot of them. Balinese. Let's choose Balinese. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's been saying, give us we need a root note. A root note would be wonderful. Let's take this to next level. All right, so there are a whole bunch of settings we've set there. So that's ready to go. If I come back, the thing to remember is if you're recording, so let me just show you. So if I hit record and hit play, it's going to start generating notes. It's searching. It's going to take into account the settings I've just set, and it'll start doing its thing. Now, so we've got some notes coming through. So what I need to show you is if you've got something playing or recording, searching in this state, and you come out here and decide I want to change, I don't know, I want to change the scale, and I hit, let's go Ionian, you'll notice it stopped. The music stopped. So now if we back out of here, you'll notice it's automatically gone into play mode. So be aware of that, right? You maybe have some really great thing happening, some really cool thing playing, and you're like, yeah, I'll just go in here and just change one thing. No, I lost it all. And that is where we come to the other thing that is sorely would make this amazing. Would be able to save some stuff, save a preset or so. That would be cool. But as it is, look, there's something in saying that every time you open it up, you're going to get something different, right? There's something exciting about that because, you know, it's a bit Forrest Gump, isn't it? Life's like a box of chocolates. So that's fun. I like that. But then when you come up with something really cool and you're like, oh, yeah, I'll save that in AUM, or I'll come up here and save it as a preset. No, not really working at this point. And even when you save a project, so just say this is my project and I save it to AUM, it doesn't save any of these notes. So be aware of that. So I might, it would be cool. And it's, look, I knew all these things would be on your list. So I'm not bringing them up as a like, nah, this is terrible because this is missing. That's not my point. I'm not trying to force the dev to go in and do this. He states clearly on all documentation that input is welcome, and I'm sure this iOS community, the way we are, a bunch of lunatics, have already like flooded you with all this stuff. So don't take me going, no, it needs this. All right, absolutely. So, but be aware when you do change these things, you will lose something that you have made possibly. So there is that. I want to come back down here for a second because I want to talk about auto pause. So this auto pause here says auto pause after 2 new notes. Now you can change this all the way up to 8 notes, or you can go all the way down to 1 note. We'll leave it for 2 and I'll show you how this works. So the thing is, because this is randomly sucking notes, and you could maybe sit there, right, for example, and just say, hey, I'll let it fill up the sequence, and then, you know, we'll edit it from there. You can do it that way, like I said, fill up everything, then come in and edit, remove notes and all that stuff. or you can turn on this button here, which is called auto pause. And if this is on, so you see the little white lights on, again, these would be heaps better if they're a little bit bigger. There's that. I'm sure he's heard this all before. But what this does is now when I hit record and come over here and it starts searching, it's only going to fill in 2 notes. And then once it's filled in the 2 notes, it's going to stop. And you'll notice the little recording button go back to play. There we go. We're back to play. So now it's not searching for any more notes. It's just doing its thing. So this gives you the opportunity to come in here and say, you know what? I'm going to tap on this. Tap, tap. I don't like this note. I'd rather remove that C. Yeah? So you can come in and do that, remove it if you want, back out. And then if you're happy with these 2 notes, all right, let's hit record again. And it's going to continue searching for 2 more notes and then it'll stop. All right, so you can see it's searching, searching. We've got our 2 notes and we're back to stop. So a nice way to have a little bit of control over what you're putting in there. That's what she said. Anyway, very handy. I've used this a bunch of times. And if you turn it off and then hit record again, we're going to be just back to the normal searching. So it should find more notes and not stop anymore once it keeps going. Oh, this is the thing with iOS community. We always find things that no one ever thinks about. You know why that is? It's because iOS is amazing and a mother at the same time. Because there's so many workarounds you have to do to get the most out of iOS. It's sure, iOS is very handy to use on the jog without a computer, touch screen, all that stuff. But there's limitations and workarounds. And I think the iOS community is very demanding. We are very demanding because we are constantly scoffed at for making music on iPad. So yeah, this will just keep going right now until I hit stop. And we're good. So down the bottom here too, we have this button. And this is the full velocity range button. So if I tap this now, hey Denise, down the bottom here it says, oh, I'm in the way, but it's very small down here. It says full velocity range. If I tap this, it's now in quiet mode. And if I jump over to the settings now, you'll see some of this changed. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So it quietens everything down. It just brings everything down a little bit. But in saying that, once you have activated quiet mode and you turn it off, it resets the velocity back. So it's basically a reset button at the same time. So be aware of that. Once you've touched it and you turn it off, you're back here with your settings. So we would have to come back up here and do the bizzo. Let's let it keep recording. And we'll talk about multi-out next, because the multi-out functionality is really interesting, really cool, and you can do it a whole bunch of different ways to get different results. We'll wait for this to fill up, and then we'll stop the recording. So this is now stopped recording. I can hit stop up here, and we're going to retain these notes here. So they're all in here, ready to go. Let's add some more instruments. So we'll add another piano tech because we've got a guitar in there that we can throw. So I'm keeping the instrumentation of what we're doing today, folks. Don't worry about that. You can throw anything you want in, but we're just keeping very simple instruments. We'll throw in this a classical guitar. And I think over here, I'm just going to do 3 for now. Let's throw in, we'll do 4. Why not do 4? We'll throw in over here another piano tech. And I think I've got a harp. Let's throw in a concert harp in there. And what else? We'll find something else in here. What do we throw? We'll throw like a... let's throw in a glockenspiel. Why not? From this. Glock. Done. We've got our 4 instruments. So let me show you the first way to do a multi-out. With this one, it's a little... We'll head over to the MIDI first. So when you're in play mode, remember, white over here, you're in play mode, and it'll tell you in the center. Pause play. When we click in the center, tap, tap, tap. Do we have to be? No. There we go. When we get in here, where we've got all our notes, we can actually send octaves to different MIDI places, okay? So these up the top are our 8 octaves. 8 octaves. So octave, think about this. You could put octave 0 to 2 as your bass notes, 3 to 5 as some synth pads or something, and you could put 6 to 8 as lead notes. So any notes that are generated, you can see them here. We've got 6, 3, 5, all the octaves are clearly listed. And then once you click on one of these, you can see all the 0 octaves are going to number 1. All the 1 octaves, octave 1, 2, and you can decide which MIDI note you'd like them to go to. We'll come back to this. Hey Ed Z, what's going on? Really good to see you, mate. And Sim, hello to you in the chat. So we'll get to that, but I want to show you another way to separate the octaves, because currently every note is going to MIDI channel 1, right? You can see that every note along here, every octave is going to MIDI channel 1 because it's selected on all of them. And funnily enough, all these instruments are set to MIDI channel 1. So let's send all these out to all these other instruments. We'll put our tether on them all, just easy. So they've all got nice reverbs. Now they're all playing the exact same thing. Our MIDI note range is from C1 to C7. Keep that in your head. So on each of these tracks, you can scroll down and find the note range. So we could go from C1 here. Let's say we'll take this to, I don't know, C3, or just before B2. Boink. We can come in this one and say from, hang on, what did I do there? So we can start this one from C3. Let's just move this all the way up. C3. We can bring this down to say C5, B4. Then we can come in here and do the same. So we'll take this up to C5. We'll bring this down to what, C6. B5. And the last one, we can say C6 to C7. Now you should start hearing things are getting separated. So all the low notes are being played. If we pause this, and you can overlap as well. So remember, you could overlap some of these notes at the same time. And over here, we've got our harp playing over here. On the end note, we've got our glockenspiel. How cool is that? It's rad. Yeah, AUM is just so good. But as I said, there's another way to do this. Absolute another way to do this. Let's do that now. We've got 20 minutes. We've got plenty of time. I'm just going to remove these. And we'll start again. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Thomas. You rock. These days I've been forgetting every day on the show, at about halfway through the show, run an ad because people get ads at this different times. It's very annoying. So we do an ad all at one time. Thanks, Thomas. You rock as always. If you want to avoid the ad, hit skip or become a YouTube Premium subscriber. The ad has been run. And while we're waiting for those who may have been served an ad, I can show you what's coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow we're taking a look at finally, and I can't wait to show you this. We'll even use it a little bit at the end of today's show. Circa Looper by Audio Damage is coming on the show tomorrow. Then something special for instead of an interview this week, we've got Pete Johns coming on for the Odd Couple Rant. We're going to talk about barriers, obstacles for making music. There's so many different obstacles we face, from confidence to financial to disability to so many different things, and we're going to talk about those on the Odd Couple Rant. And yes, I know I've had so many messages about it. On Friday this week, Battalion. We're finally taking a look at Battalion. It's rad. It's really cool. You're going to love it. That's happening on Friday. And last but not least, you know the drill, the opening hour this week. Guess what? You decide. I've put a post on the YouTube channel asking you, which band am I doing a tribute for? Faith No More, Pearl Jam. It's up to you to go and leave a poll result. Pick a genre, pick a band. Boom. We are back. Let's get this thing going. So, we want to add some notes here. Let's get in here and add some more instruments. I'll virtually do the same thing as what we had. We got a piano tech. We got a piano tech. We got a piano tech. And there we go, piano tech, and we'll throw in the B16. So we use the same instruments. Oops, that was silly. Oh, let's choose these instruments. We want a glockenspiel. So there's that. So what we're going to do now is show you how to do a multi-out a different way. One guitar, thank you very much. And we'll go in, and we already got a piano in here, so that's fine. Throw in some effects. So essentially, you're going to hear the same thing here, just done differently. Right? I just want to show you the two different ways. So if we come out of here, we want to connect all four of these, and off they go. But again, they're all playing their own thing. So this time around, we're going to come in here to these instruments, and we're going to turn off all notes. We're going to make this one just on MIDI channel 1. We're going to take this one and make it just on MIDI channel 2. This one just on channel 3. And this input on channel 4. Now let's come into MIDILODY. And in here, we can decide. So we want 0 to 2 to all go to 1. So these are all 1, 2, 3. You can see they're all going down here to 1. We want 3 and 4 to go to 2. We want 4 to go to 2. We want 5 to go to 3. Now you got to remember, you got to turn off 1. Yeah. So 6 will go to 3 as well. And 7 will go to 4. Right, we are good. And why am I not getting that sent out? What have I done wrong? Everything's good there. I've set something up wrong here. I wonder if I was going to be away density or probability control. I don't know what I've done wrong here, but I have done something wrong. Come on, bro. 2, 4. This is going there. So 4, 0. Let me check I've got everything set right here. I do. And I'll tell you why. Let's come over here and restart. That looks fine. I think you've got to restart it. I have a feeling you've got to restart it for it to actually work. Maybe. But the notes aren't coming through. So I don't know why that is. But I've got it set on another. There we go. It's working now. So we're starting to get. So remember this, yeah? You got to restart this thing. Once it's locked in, you got to think of it like this, right? Sorry, my brain's all over the place today. It's a loop. So once it's in that loop, all those settings are locked in. So you've got to come in and stop it and reset it. So it understands, because it's already going, it's already sending the data just to MIDI track 1 until you stop it and restart it. And you can see now, here we go. We've got that guitar being played here on this track. Yeah, same with velocity. Oops, back over here. Was I not on camera all that time? I'm an idiot. Right. So now everything's being sent out to different tracks. And you can see here, and we stop this, they are all going out. So 1 to 2 are going out to MIDI 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6 going out to 3, 7 and 8. And you just got to wait till something comes up here, yeah? Now, if I replace this with something like, now these are all notes that are getting, you know, they're playing the note through. It's nothing's like holding onto a note. Watch what happens when I add like something like this. We're going to come in here and add pure strings, which is, I'm on the beta of at the moment because they've just fixed it. And let's send this out. And you're going to notice it's just going to keep going. And going, and going, and going, and going, and going. Great for a drone, but not good if it just keeps layering notes over the top of each other, over and over. It gets hell. You see what I mean? So I'm going to load up it again in here, pure strings. And I'm going to come into, yeah, load. We're all good. Let's bounce back here, down. Let's hit reset on the old record button. Thank you. We've got a clean slate. I'm going to come in here, turn MIDI notes off. So MIDI note off. And let's see if it makes any difference. We may have to wait for something to generate, wait for a pattern to generate, which I like doing. I love watching it grow. You're taking notes. Should have seen me yesterday taking notes for 4 apps. Yeah. No, I've got this soloed. Right, so we got notes coming through. We'll just let it do its thing. And then I'm going to jump over into Logic so I can show you a couple of things. Now remember, not only can you use this to say, I showed you earlier, to record a loop, an audio loop out of this. You can record MIDI. You can actually record the MIDI. You could actually go in here as well too and double tap and throw in something like Helium Yeah, and send these notes into Helium, record the notes into Helium, and then edit them at a later time if you want. So there's that. Hopefully we get a string. Did we get our first string? No? Got nothing yet. Oh, it's probably because it's not connected, dickhead. Hear that? Our strings now are playing MIDI off notes, so they're not as long. Which means a lot of these apps have ADSRs. So you can come in here and fuck around with those. Do we have one in here? I don't even know if we do have one in this particular app. We've got a reverb, we've got a delay. But a lot of synthesizers have an ADSR. So you can drag out that note, get a bit of extra length with it. This one in particular doesn't. But you can hear the difference. So it's something to be aware of. Anyway, I'm just going to come back in here and add back in this glockenspiel for now. Where this shines, where this really shines, is using something like Circa, which we're taking a look at tomorrow. Now I'm going to come in here and turn off MIDI notes off. And let's restart this one more time and let it do its thingamajig. In fact, let's just do this. We'll notice that whenever you go, if I start this recording and then go into settings and then come back, it's stopped. So just remember, jumping into settings will change that. So let's just jump into settings here, make sure everything's good. We'll change the scale up a little bit. We'll go with, I don't know, do this Balinese, why not? And we'll do something a little bit faster. And let's turn it on. Let it do its thingamajig. In fact, what I want to show you is we'll clear this out. Let's load up this little project I've got here. It is this one. Alrighty. So we've got two of these. I'm going to bounce this. I'm going to create another audio track here, unsolo these. And up here, we're going to do a receive from A, and we'll send both of these from mix bus here to A. Awesome. And so now everything, let's just let this do its thing. Everything should be coming out through this last track, right? As it is. In here, we can put in something like Circa Looper. Set our loop to audio, post sync on, and now we can come in and record this. Turn up our input. So now this is being recorded into Circa Looper. We can cut this down. And now we've got a reverse track running underneath. Give it some effects. And me, all the while, this is still filling up. And we can let it generate and evolve as well. So it works beautifully with any kind of other looping app to save a loop. And Circa Looper has, what, 6 loops? And we're taking a look at this tomorrow. It's awesome, yeah? Just as an example, I want to show you something I made with both these apps. This was made with both of these apps. I'll show you another one that was made with both of these. So this is just 3 loops all made from the same pattern. Just wicked. And the last one, which is really wild, called Twist. This one's dark as hell. There's a whole bunch of detuned stuff going on in there. All right, let's bounce over to Logic. And you may have noticed my interface is working today. Funnily enough, yesterday, I think I found the problem. One of my power supplies was unplugged. So it was not connected. Anyway, let's jump into Logic. Because everyone always asks, what about Logic? What about Logic? What about Logic? Yes, indeed, Logic. Let's create a brand new project. In here, we're going to create a MIDI channel here in Logic. Here's our MIDI channel. Remember, this is an effect, a MIDI effect. So we're going to search for MIDILODY. There it is. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to throw in a piano, keep it simple. Oops. This off. And we'll just add an Altether as well. Now, when you're recording MIDI into GarageBand Plus, aka Logic, you need to come over here and select record MIDI track to here. So we're all connected. Let's come into MIDILODY. We'll set our settings. Let's do this. We'll set our note count to, oh no, let's bring it down to 8. Let's keep it simple. Our note range, we'll bring this all the way up to, I don't know, we'll do C3. Let's do C3, if I can get it, to C5. So a shorter span of notes. We'll do that there, and we'll just choose a lock, ring, bang, and we're ready to go, ready to hit record. We can set that to record. It's ready to go, so when we hit play, it's all going to be good. And we should be able to hit record up here and record these notes in. So as soon as it plays the first note, it will start recording the MIDI in here. Let's do it. Let's see if it works. Give it a second. Hey, look at that. Now remember what I said about playing these super long notes. Because now if I stop this, you'll see here, this gives you a better understanding of what we're talking about with note on. So we're just getting these super long notes in here, which you would have to come in and maybe edit them. But this is the beauty of this. You can come in and edit some stuff as you would like, right? So you could come in and make this one shorter than the other. So you do have a lot of flexibility here to actually come in and edit some stuff and then walk away. If we now bring this back up, I've only got a couple of minutes, don't I? So we'll turn this off, come back and hit play back here. Oops, we don't want to record. Right? And as I said, you can do this with Helium or any other. Record these notes in, completely up to you. But watch the difference. Let's delete this. watch the difference when we change this to note on. So I'm going to clear this pattern out here. We'll come back over and we'll put note off, sorry. We'll add the note offs, and you're going to get a lot shorter notes coming in. So once again, we'll hit record. Everything's ready to go. Record over here. It says ready for recording for searching. Hit record. Let's do it. Turn off that metronome. As soon as it hits a note, we're off. And then I'm off. Hello. Are we going? Where's the notes? Why am I not getting any notes? Oh, I don't have it turned on. That would help. Give us some notes, baby. Give us some notes. Give us some notes. Give us some notes. There we go. So hear how short that is? And you might like working this way, yeah? So then you can come in here and decide the length of each of the notes that are being played. Completely up to you. Let's just stop that for now. So now you can see we've got much shorter notes in here, and you can come in here and decide for yourself. Now remember, these can be controlled with your ADSR, so you may want to put a longer decay on these notes, and it's going to work that way. All right, hopefully you get the idea of how this thing works. It's really, really nice. I've just had so much fun playing around with it. It's going to get used in so many more demos here on the channel. Just to remind you one more time, it is available right now. It is $4.99 on the App Store. There's links below if you want to do all that. Thomas, is it Thomas's show today? Yes, Thomas Christ is up next, and it is Thomas today, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm going to dump you over there to Thomas's show. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching the replay, do the like, do all the stuff, do the things that helps. You guys rock. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together. Stay awake, and we'll see you tomorrow for Circa Looper. Let's Oge, baby. Boom.